What's happening, everybody? The Job Guys here with you. Nick and Ryan, happy to be here with you in the middle of the week on a Wednesday. And Nick, we are here for a special reason. That is because right behind you, AEW has taken over New York. For the very first time ever, they are in the city as expected. The crowd, man, they were electric. It felt like an old-time show in Arthur Ashe Stadium. I have a few things to say about this, Nick, but I want to get your thoughts, man. Obviously, this crowd was pumped from the get-go, and they should be. They've been waiting a long time to see this.
And it felt immediately when you signed in and they were like kind of previewing the show, it had a big fight feel. It had a Saturday night main event feel to me. It wasn't like quite a pay-per-view because it was only 2 hours, and it did have a match like MJF, Pillman, whatever, but that's a Saturday night main event match. It felt big. I was excited to see it. The fans were hype. You're in New York. I think the stage was set for a big show, and I like what AEW does with not a pay-per-view or two pay-per-views every month. Mm-hmm. I like that they've spread it out. I think, what do they do, Ryan? 4 or a handful of
pay-per-views? They do 4, and then numerous shows, and they are getting, now with the new deal, they are getting kind of like a Clash of the Champions type thing 4 times a year as well. But they're doing these special shows all the time, too.
These are great. So. I think these are great. I think this is getting started up. I don't think this company could do a pay-per-view a month show and give away big matches and still be rolling at a level. I think this is the proper way to go. 4 pay-per-views a month, and you just have some big fight cards on,
And the timing can't be better, man. I mean, they have been as hot as can be over the last month, and then you bring in CM Punk. You run a bunch of shows in Chicago. You add the United Center show, which got you whatever that got, 17,000, 16,000, whatever it was there. Then Bryan comes in. Then Adam Cole comes in. So they are hot, hot, hot. And they had already started selling tickets to this New York show. And there was excitement there because everybody thought either Punk or Daniel Bryan was going to show up here. Instead, we get the world champion, Kenny Omega, fighting Daniel Bryan, and now Bryan Danielson on this show. So they did get something that they thought they were going to get special there. I will say this. It's cool for new, and then on top of all of that, it's just cool because it's the first time in New York, and it's in a first-time building. Nobody has ever run a wrestling show at Arthur Ashe Stadium. The one thing about it, though, people got so pumped up about the stadium, I don't think they've ever watched tennis before. It is not the Silver Dome. It is not any dome. It's a smaller stadium. It's a tennis stadium. I think it only holds, without the suites, like 23,000. So it's really not any bigger than the United Center, which holds like 23 by itself. So I think people thought it was going to look different than it did, and it really just looked like a normal show. Only sold out, and they had the lights coming out that you see at some of the bigger wrestling shows, the spotlights. That looked cool. You could tell that it was full. They didn't have anything blacked out. I did like the ramp. It really looked cool for Britt Baker when she came out with it, had the belt there below her feet on that ramp. I thought that ramp was cool. But I think people got a little maybe too hyped up because they thought it was going to look like some WrestleMania thing. But they did get right out of the gate. They didn't have very long to be disappointed if they were, because they got a huge match. They go with Danielson, Omega, boom, right out of the gate, Nick.
Well, and I don't know if everybody was like me. You knew if even it was, you knew the title wasn't switching if that was going on first.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure it was a title match.
It was not. It was not. And you called that out. A lot of people missed it. He said, I'm not even worried about the belt. We can deal with that later. I just want you.
And so that, you were kind of, I guess, just going with this off the bat. So I was wondering how they were getting out of it.
Yes.
It was a big match. I really want to say, though, guys, it was really only in the wrestling world a big match. I don't think this was sending shockwaves across the United States, but it's still, for us wrestling marks and everything, it's a huge match. It really got off to the start and all night. The announcers, the shots at New York, man. I mean, are we going to hear these for the rest of time now?
Yeah,
but
I think we are. Yeah,
well, I mean, they got a little old, but the match was. I liked it. I think everybody should back down, like 5-starring it or 10-starring it. I thought it was a good match. I really liked how it was slow at first. They were doing wrestling holds. I think they did way too many chops and kicks. The match seemed to consist a lot of chops and kicks, but it was a good match. I like that they didn't hit too many nuclear bombs and kick out of them. I mean, nobody kicked out of anybody's finish. I really did. I thought it worked well. I will say this: the match with the ending was confusing. Did Bryan? I mean, it just. I don't know. It was confusing. I don't understand why you want either to lose. So why book the match in the first place? It had that Hogan Goldberg criticism that everybody, don't give him Hogan Goldberg. Why are you getting this match? Where do you go from here? The ending lackluster, man.
Well, it's neutral. It ended in a draw, so then they can fight again. And Omega immediately tweeted, ain't going to be no rematch like Apollo Creed. So, we got to wait till Rocky 2 until we get this match again. But, I mean, it does set up people to want to see it again because it was such a good, well-worked match. They're going to I want to see it again.
It flowed well.
So, and then next time the title will be on the line. But I'm with you. My only criticism of the match, I said that too many chops, but that's Daniel Bryan.
It is.
And the kicks are Daniel Bryan. Mm-hmm. And he has said, he's on the record, I want to take more risks. And Vince McMahon, to his credit, he protected me and would not let me do certain things. You saw him do a little bit more here. You saw the dragon suplex off the top rope, which he didn't land on his neck, but he did land awkward. And I don't know, is that when he cut his head? Was it? I am not
sure.
He landed funny. Like, he didn't look like he landed good. But I'll say this, as a guy who is not the biggest Kenny Omega fan in the world, like, he can work. Don't get me wrong.
Yes, he can.
And dry hump you in the middle of the ring.
For everything they have said about every match he has, I don't think it's even close. I think this is the best Kenny Omega match he has ever had in North America that I've ever seen.
I was thinking the same thing, and I thought I was stupid because I'm not a Kenny Omega guy, and I'm like, this can't be. It was a normal match. It just flowed well. You didn't have a guy jumping off the Titantron. You didn't have a guy getting run over by a car or a bomb going off in the ring or someone smashing someone with, broken glass or whatever the hell. It was just a good – I'm shocked that people like it because I thought the first 10 to 15 minutes were 80s almost style. Other than the punches and kicks, it was slow.
A lot of holds and whatnot, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I liked it. I liked that. I don't need to see nuclear bombs all through the match.
21 gigawatts!
Here's my problem with this match, and you hinted at it, and it has nothing to do with the work itself. The work was very good. One of my favorite Bryan Danielson matches, and my favorite Kenny Omega match that I've seen in North America. Here's my problem with it. They come on the air, and all of a sudden, and they've been doing this, but it was very obvious. They say this match is scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Then, 42 seconds later, if not quicker than that, JR then goes, this match has a 30-minute time limit, and this match went on first as opposed to last. Now, I had a conversation with my buddies earlier in the day, and I said, I'm a little disappointed that the title is not on the line because that means Bryan's going to win. Well, no, they should do some screw job finish. I'm like, you can't do a screw job finish. These people think that there's going to be 93,173 fans in here. They're super excited. You can't do a screw job finish. You can't do that unless They are taping Rampage as we speak. So the show is still going on. Like, you could get away with it because there's more coming after tonight. Punk's going to fight. All those other matches that are going on. So it won't be the last taste left in their mouth. But they don't want to go off the air with the fans booing. So I said, it either goes on first.
And I have half the brain that you do.
And then we have a screw job finish or whatnot. And that's what ended up happening. And then when they twice in 30 seconds said it's a 30-minute time limit, I'm like, well, that's what they're doing. They're going Broadway on this. So I knew from the get-go, all right, this isn't going to end. Enjoyed the match, but in the back of your head, when you know what the finish is going to be, it always kind of screws with it. So all that said, it was still very good, man. I thought it might have been my favorite match, period, ever in AEW.
I think
I'm not going to give it 6 stars or anything, but it was good.
I would, out of 5, I would give it 4. You know, a 5 is a perfect, and a 5 also needs, for me, a perfect feud. There wasn't really a great feud heading into this match. You know, it's kind of just, I came here to take on the best in the world because I think I'm the best in the world. Mm-hmm. Kenny Omega, you have the AEW title. I'm coming to get you. Mm-hmm. You know, that's kind of and I don't know, but yeah, it was a really good match. But again, yeah, it just, I don't know why they gave it to you so soon. You know, I
think they just I think maybe they were going to give you Bryan originally at this show and they didn't. And so then they're like, well, we need to give him something here just to pump it up. And they did. They got the excitement built. They absolutely did. I was getting texts all day from butt crack of dawn until a few minutes ago. I'm looking forward to tonight. Tonight's going to be great. Tonight's going to be amazing. And they got it. A little surprise, since we're talking about maybe a surprise, which we thought Bryan might be originally. No Bray Wyatt on this show.
No.
There was none of that. Now, they're still recording right now. Maybe somebody shows up at Rampage. We didn't get Miro's wife, CJ Perry, did not show up on this show. I thought maybe she would as well because he keeps talking about his wife. She hasn't shown up yet either. Anyway, anything else on this? I agree with you. I'm not going to give it 5 because 5 is a perfect match.
It's not 5.
But it is, and I don't do 6 stars and 8 stars and all that.
It's just ridiculous.
But it's probably the best match I've ever seen in AEW. I thought it was good.
I'm not going to argue. I'd have to really think about that. But yeah, I think so too. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great match.
Next thing, Nick,
yep.
Punk's promo. Mm-hmm. You mentioned shots at the New York territory. He says right out of the gate, it's good to be back. It's been a long time since I've been in New York City, and it's been even longer since professional wrestling was in New York City. That's how he started his promo. Nick, take it from there. What do you think?
As chum for the Seals, I guess, you know, when you throw out wrestling hasn't been in New York City, that's just, to me, an easy punchline. But, you know, I thought this was maybe his worst interview since he's come in. He didn't say anything. Like, nothing was said. He came out, I'm over. Like, I will tell you this. I was so excited his first night when he came out and he stood there and he looked and everything. This guy was a jerk. People forget that. Like, on a personal level, he hated you people out there. This guy did not, and I'm not trying to be funny. This is not my words. These are his. He didn't like you people. He doesn't like fans. He's hit you. He's assaulted you. When he came back out, it looked like here was a new CM Punk. The admiration, the like, you know what? I owe it to you people. And I was great to see that. But enough, man. Freaking enough with, I'm here for all of you. This is not CM Punk. We get it. And I'm so happy. Maybe he's great in the back now. Maybe he's changed his attitude toward fans. But that ain't what made CM Punk CM Punk. That's what he kind of did. He came out in this interview, why I'm here again. And then he's going after Vince in New York and everything. And then he starts just saying, you know, like Powerhouse Hobbs, you shouldn't have came after me. Team Taz, you're not good. I don't want to see him fight Team Taz anyway. This is not one of the dudes I wanted to see him. I just thought this was kind of, he can still cut it. And again, people are going to probably disagree with me because he sounds great on the stick. He is awesome every time he touches that stick. There's no questioning that. I just didn't think this was great, groundbreaking, anything I cared to hear. Just, he's going to fight Hobbs Friday. That's kind of it, and he loves the fans.
Yeah, I have been one of those people. I think we've said it on this show, or I did with John Connor there on our All Out show. Can't remember. I've been calling him Happy Punk, like Happy Corbin. I noticed it right from the get-go. The first night was fine. Every single night now, he's like, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And then he says tonight, he brings it up in a promo. They have been doing this a lot lately. It is reminiscent of MJF saying, somebody online saying cheap heat, cheap heat. MJF's nothing but cheap heat. You've got Dan Lambert doing Jim Cornette's gimmick, which they're in a tennis building. What's the odds Dan Lambert comes out with a tennis racket on Friday? Might happen, just saying. Anyway, you have him doing Jim Cornette's gimmick where he rips on the smaller guys and the this and that and the other thing. And you and I have both said they're doing that to get in front of it. So then when someone comes out and says, yeah, I don't really like Punk being happy, now those people have free reign to go, yeah, Punk said you would say that. Punk said you would say that. Just sit back and enjoy it. You just are negative. Sit back and enjoy it. They're doing the same thing here. He is doing the exact same thing. He's coming out and saying there's people saying that they don't like how happy Punk is, and I liked Punk happier when he was mad. Well, that's what got you over. And people have been waiting 7 years to see that guy. They didn't wait 7 years to get ice cream cones and hear how great they are. I mean, that's cool for a minute.
Well, it was great.
You can evolve. You can evolve. Absolutely, you can evolve. But if enough people are saying that Happy Punk isn't the real Punk and that's not what they want to see, well, then maybe they're right. Because, and if there's enough people saying it that you heard it and felt you needed to cut a promo on that, well, then maybe something ain't right there. Maybe something needs to change. And I hear people, I saw a ton of people tonight say, yeah, well, you're wrong. And then people would go, well, the pop says, the pop in your building sure didn't say he's wrong. Well, he's only been here a month. Of course, they're still going to cheer the guy. I mean, it's not like they've been listening to Happy Punk for a year. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks.
Right.
They're going to cheer him. And they were hot. And they just saw the best match ever on Dynamite. They're excited. There was a few things he said, though, that did not get a reaction, especially the first couple things. He came out, music hits, people are singing, they like it. He gets on the mic. First few things he said got like no reaction at all. And then there were a few others deeper into the promo. Who knows? He knows a heck of a lot more about wrestling than I do, but I do think there's something to it. I do.
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say.
I can't deny. I don't have anything really else to say on that. I just didn't think it was great. And and maybe also because I'm kind of like really Powerhouse Hobbs, Ice Train 2.0, whatever we're calling. I mean, this guy, I'm sorry. This isn't one of the matches that we thought, we were going to get to see, especially if Punk's fighting limited cards throughout the year. I mean, is Hobbs one of the guys we want to watch him fight? I mean,
that's something I wrote down here, and it's funny, and it plays into the whole just thought process of this company right now. And they are so hot that they can do no wrong. But people and everybody's different. Every wrestler, I should say, is different. But it's funny how you hear people say, match number 1, I'm so happy that Bryan came right in and Bryan's fighting Omega immediately. I'm so happy they did that. I'm so happy they don't wait around, man. Go right after it. The very next guy to come out is CM Punk, and they go, I'm so happy they're taking their time with Punk, and he's helping build other stars, and he's helping do this and that and the other thing. Then in the main event at the end of the night, yeah, Ruby, man, I'm so happy Ruby's in the main event. She deserves it. She just got here.
I can't. You see it online. The narrative keeps switching with AEW fans to fit what they want it to fit. I'm sorry, guys. It does. I think you're putting on better shows right now than you ever have. I'm telling you, this product is getting better.
No question.
But the people are rewriting the narrative on this show whenever, from match to match, on what's better. Hogan Goldberg is the worst thing ever. Why would you ever give that away? Here's Omega and Daniel Bryan right away, for free on TV. Come on. It's the same.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's wrong.
No.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying you do what your company feels you have to do, but the Hogan Goldberg can't be wrong, and the Omega Daniel Bryan Danielson can't be right. I mean, that's
right. Yeah. I mean, again, I thought this was a good show. It's just funny how
really good show.
Yeah. The goalposts move, depending on whatever you want to get over. So anyway, we're getting Powerhouse Hobbs Friday night against Punk. Again, I don't know if that's good for Hobbs or not. I would maybe suspect a no finish in this one. I would actually maybe suspect
Team
no
Taz
finish.
comes down there, beats up Punk or something.
Yeah.
If you're trying to push, again, though, Hobbs, and this is one of my things with AEW, these big guys that I tend to like, a lot of them in AEW just seem like meathead guys.
He's not ready yet. He's not ready.
I don't. No way. I don't. He certainly should not pin Punk. Like, there's no way I could see this guy pinning Punk.
Better not.
So I'm guessing you're right. Punk's going to win this, or it's not going to finish. There's no way this guy pins him.
We're going to do a new segment on the show here. Job, guys. AEW Dynamite review. Brand new game. Never done it before. And you didn't even know this one was coming. So let's hit the theme music. All right. The game, Nick, is called Who Does It Better? Diz, does, did. Who does it better?
Okay.
Who cuts a better promo, Nick? Powerhouse Hobbs or Ice Train? Who cuts a better promo?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with Powerhouse Hobbs, I guess, man. I don't. It's been so long. Ice Train. And that's not saying much. I mean, that's like, I'm barely giving it to Powerhouse Hobbs, I guess.
Has he cut a promo like maybe once? I don't even remember.
Ice Train was awful. Ice Train was so bad.
I was gonna say nobody wins, Nick. Nobody.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah, gun to the head, pull the trigger. I guess.
Yeah. When they're talking, nobody wins. Okay, and you know what? I just came up with that. Who cares? Okay, somebody who can cut a promo, love him or hate him. Next up, MJF against Flying Brian Pillman Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts on this one, Nick?
Well, I was going to say this. Pillman needs, and I hope Pillman needs some sort of gimmick. I don't think he can just be my dad's name. I think he needs something. I was thinking he could maybe follow his dad and be the loose cannon, but Stone Cold already stole that and went on with it. So that's out of the question. So I don't know what they do with this guy yet, because I think he has the look to that crazy
he definitely
Pillman
does.
look.
And he's got good size.
I mean, but we've talked. I mean, Austin already stole it and ran with it. So,
well, that's also been 20 years ago. So
that's true. So maybe they could do it. But I thought the match was fine. Pillman's just not over. Nobody kind of knows, other than his name, really, who is he?
Well, he's been in a tag team, and they're like the cheerleader thing. They got their cheerleader with him, and he's been gone lately. So Bryan all of a sudden is just by himself. So he kind of is a man without a gimmick. And then today he had the cheerleader with him again. So it's like, all right, what are you here, dude?
I thought it was a good wrestling match. I thought it had some 80s parts. I loved him grabbing the cheerleader, the old Savage move, and pulling her in front of him. And then he throws and he clothesline. I love that crap, man. And that's more, to me, that's more of a story being told outside the ring and stuff. I thought this match was a good match. I'm not an MJF fan, and I don't think Pillman has been brought up, but these matches are good. Like we said, I've said this before on your show. You've said this. Every match cannot be Ricky Steamboat Savage or Hogan Rock or Omega Bryan Danielson. I mean, you can't have every match. These matches
every card has a slot to fill. And this filled it's kind of the back burner match of this. But it still had a story also.
It did.
It did have a story.
I give it credit. I'm not an MJF fan. I don't think Pillman is built there, but I think this match delivered what it could. It was a good wrestling match. The right guy won. Pillman's not over yet. Right. You're still going with MJF. I really have no complaints on this match.
This one, to me, is the second biggest story of the night. And, man, by the end of the night, it even kind of maybe evened up for me with the opening match. It is Aleister Black against Cody. Let me set up the beginning, Nick, and then I'll let you go. Black comes out first. You knew he'd be over with this crowd. You knew he would. He's a former WWE guy who got let go, and they love his gimmick. They like what he's doing. They like that he's a little weird. You knew he was going to be over. The question was, would Cody get booed? Because his stock's been slipping a little bit, especially with this crowd that likes to be different or likes newer guys and whatnot. Cody gets booed immediately. Then Arn Anderson comes out as the coach again with this laminated play chart like he's Andy Reid in the Super Bowl or something. And he's like, hey, I'll run a 36 counter on him. Look, what? And he's sitting there telling
I'll take care of horseman business.
It just is so cornball. Maybe that's what they were going for. Then
he bites it.
Brandy comes. We'll get to that. Then, or did he think he missed his spot and he just fell down? Anyway, Brandy comes out. First time we've seen her, and these people hate her.
Really?
Oh gosh, she has more heat than anybody.
I like her.
Of course, I
like her,
dude. The AEW people can't stand her. And she came out of the heel tunnel, so they just boo the heck out of her. And then we get into the match. Okay. Nick, go ahead.
Okay, this is what I don't get about this Malachi Black. I heard in WWE for his whole stint there, they don't know what they're doing with him, right? This guy can be so much freaking better. They just don't know what they're doing with him. So he gets over to AEW, and we're all supposed to. I'm excited. Okay, everybody's told me this guy's the man. It's the same basic gimmick. It's the same dang thing. And you could turn the volume up on this gimmick till the speakers blow. It still blows as a gimmick. I mean, it's not good. I don't
what
like
is it? What is it?
Skull and the horns, like he's out of some Game of Thrones or Gothic movie, and he comes down in there. I don't know. I just don't like this guy's gimmick. And maybe he can work a little bit in the ring. He can work.
Yeah, the kicks are kind of cool.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm sure there's a place for him. I'm just not big on this. Cody comes out looking like Homelander from The Boys. I don't know if anybody – I mean, it was weird. I thought this match was the worst on the card tonight. I love Brandy. I don't know what people. I think you should ditch Arn, and Brandy should be Cody's permanent manager.
Well, it looked like they might do that at one point in this match. But
good. Yeah. I thought the cursing's done enough, guys. Enough.
Thank you.
Enough. What was the point of that? She didn't need to get in there and flip off.
Swearing's cool, dude.
I guess swearing's cool.
So
we're
cool.
all in fifth grade. So yeah, swearing's
it's edgy,
cool.
Man.
Cody. There was another weird part. Cody got kicked out of the ring. Malachi Black goes outside the ring and puts him in like a face lock. And even the announcers are confused. They're like, is he getting him up or is he putting him out in a sleeper? And nobody really knows. And then Cody kind of gets back up.
He just gets back up.
And gets in the ring. I was like, what the hell's going on here? And oh my God, Ryan. Like this is why.
The finish?
This is why you can't have these old guys out here playing integral roles in matches. So Arn Anderson starts making his way around the turnbuckle.
I don't even know if this is the worst part of the match, by the way. Seriously, I'm not kidding.
And he literally bites it.
Guys, the beer's on ice.
What's worse, that part's horrible. He then gets back up on the apron. The two in there, they're very bad in this company about hot-shotting spots. Like Anderson's on. So then have Brandy get up and have him throw him into Brandy or something like that. The match kind of stops so Arn Anderson can regroup and they can help him up and get him back on the apron so we can throw Cody into him. I thought they had another part where they could have. Cody's one of the writers of the company, right? He owns this
executive.
thing, right?
He's executive vice president.
I thought they should have played Rock Hogan, played the crowd. Cody's getting booed. It looked like a moment. It looked like a moment. Did he intentionally hit that ref, or was that an accident? Because I don't know.
See, it happened so quick. I couldn't tell if he intentionally did it or if it was an accident.
Again, I don't think this match. I didn't make sense to me. It didn't even really flow well. I thought Cody looked bad in this match. Like it just wasn't flowing. Cody's got to turn, and he's got to turn fairly quick here. And I don't know that I think they may be scared because he's got that show coming out.
Right. And he's on a show currently.
Is he going to go heel while he's moving toward Hollywood here?
Well, and he is one who is straight out. He is the one who doesn't get along with the other EVPs because he's kind of old school. But at the same time, he doesn't believe in heels and faces. He's on record saying that. So I don't know what he's going to do. And you're exactly right. There was so many different things that happened in this match. When Arn fell, slashed, forgot the spot, and just jumped off the apron, then he gets hit. He yells at Cody, get back in the ring, get back in the ring. And then Brandy looked at him and got pissed. She got and threw her arms up in the air. She got mad at him. So it's like, okay, are they going to split off? Cody did do some of the Rock stuff. He did look at the crowd. He didn't flick them off or anything like that.
Right.
But he looked at him, started hitting his chest, and like, what's wrong with you people? He kind of did do that. But then the finish might possibly be, again, with the Arn thing, I don't know if he thought Cody forgot the spot because Cody went to the other side. And then Arn just flies off the thing. So did he think, oh, gosh, he forgot that I'm supposed to take a bump here? No. And then he gets right up and gets knocked off again. The finish is possibly the worst finish I've ever seen. It happened so quick, I didn't know if it was on purpose from Cody. But then that wouldn't make sense because the heel spits in his face then, and he gets pinned. So it was an accident. I've never seen a ref take a bump and not be laying on the ground for 15 minutes afterward. He's selling his eye being hit. Cody then gets spit in the eye. The wrestler gets hit in the eye and can't get up before 3 seconds. Yet the referee just got up in 1 second and came over and counted 3. What?
It wasn't.
Who came up with that?
That's terrible.
That is the worst thing.
In my opinion, that sucked.
Unbelievable, man. It is so bad. That was so bad. In between Cody, who's an EVP of the company, and Arn, who probably had something to do with that match, too. He probably was the agent. That's what they came up with?
It sucked. It stunk.
And Black, who's supposed to be super smart. Ugh. It was bad. And if they already hated Cody, they aren't going to like him anymore after that, even though he took the L. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I'm sorry. Anything else on that one?
No, I just didn't think it. Even just the flow did not look good in this match. I don't know. You know what? I'll look forward to maybe seeing Cody turn. Maybe he's he's sick of these. Yeah, I would hope. Because this guy has lost it, man. He was one of the hottest things when this company started up, and he could be couldn't be more vanilla right now, man.
I agree, but I think
people are starting to hate him.
Oh, they're more than that. I think we're in Cena territory with him now because he is the movie star. He's got his reality show. He's got his game show. He's got this, that, and the other. He's an EVP. He's the one out there with -1. He's the one doing this, that, and the other, and people don't like that. But I think it has become, and we saw it tonight, you had 20,000 people booing this guy. It's become the cool thing to do.
Then give it to him. Then tell his fans off. Tell them, you know what? I brought you AEW. I'm the reason you're sitting here. You know what? I'm making movies. I'm doing whatever you want. Maybe like that Rock Hollywood gimmick when he fought Hogan The second time when he came back, remember the music, the promo with the helicopter landing and things? Cody's bigger than the company. Maybe he can say himself. I don't know, because the freaking Homelander gimmick is not working.
Suffering succotash, son.
I think they probably should, because I don't know what else they're going to do with him. And he can then make fun of Omega or something. Oh, yeah, what TV show's Omega on? You know, what TV show is, name them, the Bucks currently on? Oh, they're not. Yeah, what show's Daniel Bryan's? Oh, yeah, his wife's show got canceled. You know, stuff like that. I'd do it. And guess what? I got 2 shows on top of my wrestling, which I'm the vice president of this company, and I have my own reality show, and I got my own game show. What do you got?
I'm doing radio shows. I'm doing interviews all over the world. You know,
I got a sweet tattoo. Yeah, nobody else can say that. All right. Sting and Darby Allin versus FTR. I'm going to set you up again on this one, Nick. FTR comes out wearing the NWO logo.
Oh, I'll pinch you so hard.
I immediately just, I went online, I'm looking, and everybody else thinks this is amazing because they're trolling Sting by wearing the NWO stuff. Sting wrecked the NWO 25 years ago. Like, how is that trolling him? Sting messed with their heads for 14 months, and then he beat Hogan. How is that trolling? I'm not sure. I didn't really get it. The rest of this match was pretty good, Nick. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought the match was really good for a guy being on the wrong side of 60. He's you know,
wrong side of 45.
Yeah, he wrestled, and he wrestled a lot of the match, man. He took some bumps, and I thought he did a pretty good job. The NWO, again, let's move. I thought the NWO was terrible. I thought the NWO was diluted. I thought the NWO ruined WCW. Now it's on both freaking shows.
Why are so many guys using the logo for 20 years?
Yeah, does it suck or does it not suck? I mean, or do we have to wait till AEW tells us, you know, whether it's good or not? You know, I mean, I think that's kind of where we're at.
I think they just did.
So now it's cool again. Great. But yeah, it was. I thought it was a great match. For what it was. Is it a 5-star? Absolutely not. But they rubbed Sting's face paint, I guess, off. That was a disrespectful thing. I don't think we've seen that really.
I don't think so.
I don't know if they did it in Impact when he was there. I don't know if they had a segment where he got embarrassed like that.
I don't remember.
If they did, I'm sure like the 7,000 people watching probably don't remember that from Impact. But, I thought it was good. I like the Darby backdrop off the finish where he hit that and Sting pulls him back in and gets the submission.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate, being a former WCW guy, that they have not killed Sting.
No.
I do appreciate they're letting this guy get the exit. I assume he's going to eventually put someone over. That was my big question. How long are we doing this with Darby and Sting?
Yeah. Before Darby goes on his own.
I'm hoping Darby turns on him. I hope Darby murders him at some point. And
Darby's over right now, though. So
was The Rock before they flipped him. You got so many freaking faces in this company, and you don't have a lot of strong heels, man. I'm sorry. Kenny Omega is good. He's not super strong. MJF, I guess people like him in here. I think you could use, and Punk kind of came in. He's huge. Bryan Danielson now is a big time face.
You got a brand new 1 and 2. You got a brand new 1 and 2 face.
John Moxley's still over as a face. Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle are now all faces. Jungle Boy is big as a face. You know, you've got a lot of faces on this company, and I don't know that you have a lot of big heels to go up against them. So maybe, I doubt they'll do it, but maybe. I just don't know where Sting and Darby go from here. They just keep hanging together. Yeah.
Do they win the tag belts at some point? You know, obviously the Lucha Brothers have them right now. I wouldn't think they'd fight them, but you never know. I agree with everything, the crowd was on fire. And for both Darby and for Sting, this match had a lot quicker pace than I thought it would, especially from Sting. I think top to bottom, we've seen him in tag matches and whatnot, but this is the most work I think he's done.
In ring.
You know, there was a question about the elevation of the Stinger splashes today. You know, for those WCW fans that remember, there's no question about when the fake Sting was here, when Sting would fly and the other guy would just kind of do a belly flop. A little, but that guy is 62 stinking years old. So, you know, I thought this was a good, fun match. Absolutely. It's funny to me now, though, and he's always been over, but how over Sting is now. Anybody that's listened to our show for however long we've been doing it, a year and a half or whatever it is, know that we are not the biggest Undertaker fans on earth. We just think the guy is massively overrated. Give him credit for everything he's done, all that. But I saw, and I got to give my man credit. I got to find his name here, but Samuel Brogy, I'm not sure, man. Either way, buddy, I got to give you credit for this. He puts up a tweet that says something like, I don't even care.
All elite Scooby-Doo.
And he puts a picture of Sting and then a greater than sign, The Undertaker. Now, you and I have nearly got murdered a few times for saying, like, anybody's better than The Undertaker. Stone Cold, The Rock. What? You're out of your mind.
You did the right thing. Congratulations.
The thing that got me here was all the replies, Nick. Like, when the last time I looked, it was like 80 to 90% of people were like, yeah, you're right. You're right. He's way better. He's always been better. I'm like, oh my gosh, how times have changed here. This dude is 62 and he is way, way, way over, to the point that people are now putting down the Taker.
All elite.
Just thought that was interesting.
2 years ago, that would not have been said.
8 months ago, that would not have been said.
Scooby-Doo.
Found that interesting. Just wanted to throw that out there. If you have any comment on that, hit us up in the comments. Let everybody know what you think about Sting and The Undertaker, because now apparently Sting is top 5 all time. I didn't know that was the case, and I love Sting.
Me too.
Yeah, I absolutely love Sting. Anyway, the guy was the hottest wrestler on earth for a year and a half, and he never said a word. And he never wrestled.
Yeah, he was freaking awesome.
It was great, man. Oh, it was so good. Anyway, shout out to Sting, but man, I was shocked by that, dude. Absolutely shocked.
Me too. And good for him. He deserves it. He's great.
Oh man, I did not expect. I expected him to maybe wrestle once or something. I mean, he's out there every couple weeks.
Yeah.
So he's been doing his thing, man. That is for sure. The ladies, the world title match gets the main event. It is Dr. Britt Baker taking on Ruby Riot. She won the Battle Royal to become the #1 contender. This is only like her second, maybe even first. I'm not sure. Was she in a tag match? It's one of her very first matches. She's in a world title anyway. I found this interesting. I know it's a world title match, but this match started at 9:45, and they say this is scheduled for one fall and a 60-minute time limit. So the whole time limit thing just took me back again to earlier in the night when I'm like, okay, just make that one a 60 minutes. Whatever. It just gave away the finish, and I didn't like it. Your thoughts on this one, Nick?
I don't like Ruby Riot. I'm sorry. Again, it's one of these things. Like it's the same freaking character to me. These like biker goth people. There's just so many of them. If there was only like one, I'd be fine. But I don't know. It's just, and again, she's the same thing I heard. Man, if she wasn't in the WWE, she'd be freaking awesome. She moves companies, and she's the same person. What am I seeing different that wasn't being used right in the WWE to this?
They did let her shoot the other day, although I will say, I would say her one big punchline wasn't even true. It was, yeah, you're just like everybody else. You're banging somebody in the back. saying that that's how she got over. The guy she's banging in the back got here like 12 days ago.
Right.
And she's been here since the beginning. So
right.
That's not what got her over. So
no.
Anyway, that was that drew a blank with me there.
Match was okay. I didn't think it flowed super great. I would just say to people, though, this is bad when Ruby Riot, you need to put her right in. She's the second best woman in the company after Britt Baker. I'm sorry. Yeah, Britt Baker, I would put her in the top 1 or 2 women in the industry right now. She is that good and over. And again, I'm not saying she's the best in the ring. I don't freaking care. She's good enough. I love her charisma. I love her stick work, man. I love all that stuff. But Ruby Riot, man, she's your second best girl. Your women's division, I'm sorry, these AEW, you overestimate how good this division is. It's awful. The women's division in AEW is so bad, and it's good that that's why I'm not even mad that they got Ruby Riot or Ruby Soho, because they need people in this women's division, man. It just real bad. These other people, Botchlander is awful. Nyla Rose is not good. I don't know. You're bringing in many women from NWA who I have no idea who the heck they are. I've seen them wrestle on Dynamite. They need to really increase this division and get some of these ladies over.
Yeah, that's the one thing I said. And obviously that she cheated to win, Britt being she. Yep. And so, that gives Ruby another shot. But I don't see them taking this belt off Britt for a long time. Like at the earliest at the pay-per-view, that's in the middle of November, I believe. What does this do now for Ruby? And you said it, Ruby I said the same thing. She's their number 2 girl right now. And now what? You gave this match away in 2 weeks. So now what? Now who does Britt fight? You could go back to Thunder Rosa. They had the hardcore match that everybody loved, but Britt's got to win that one too. I just don't know where you go now because you gave this away so quick.
I don't either. Their women's division is it is maybe the weakest women's division that I've ever seen. It rival. I'm not trying to be funny either. Impact Wrestling, if you look right now at their card, they probably have more names that regular non-wrestling fans, average run-of-the-mill wrestling fans might know. You got a Gail Kim on that card. There's and again,
Mickey
I'm
James,
sorry,
people
Mickey
like that.
Yeah, they're there. I'm not saying it's great, but I'm saying this card, there's not a lot of people, and it's sad too because Britt's almost stuck in. Not that the WWE Roman's like his competition is that bad, but he doesn't have anybody. Britt doesn't have anybody. You're getting in that situation. You got to start building some of these girls or look elsewhere. And I don't mind them signing in some WWE girls or because she needs somebody to fight. She needs somebody to go after.
Yeah, she is. I like that Roman comparison. I mean, they're different, but she's so much better than everybody else.
Yes,
is.
She's got playing field.
Again, some people say she can't work, and is she the best worker in the company? No, absolutely not.
I don't care.
She's not. But it's not like she sucks. She's pretty good. She's got a better look than everybody else, and I think she's the best talker, maybe in the entire company, dude or girl.
She might be. She might be.
I mean, she is so good on the mic, and she's just so far above everybody else, man. So yeah, match was fine. There was a couple clunky moments. I thought there was some cool spots. Britt did hit that neck breaker where she flipped over, grabbed her leg, then flipped real quick. That was sweet. That was cool. They did the I don't even know what it's called. They said avalanche air raid crash, I believe they said, where they were on the middle rope. She had her on her back and jumped backwards and landed. That was a good spot, which she kicked out of. Then she does great stomp, by the way. Ruby, give her credit here. She took it. That looked great.
I have no problem with Ruby's wrestling ability. She can work. There's no.
Yeah, she sold that, dude. That was cool. There was a couple things, and I was hoping she'd just win. but they had to keep her strong. She kicked out of all this stuff, and then interference cost them. So, yeah, there we go. That's how we go off the air, and then they're taping Rampage, as everybody knows, right after this, so they're probably almost done or whatever. But that'll be on Friday. Your thoughts overall here, Nick, on the show? You know, there's a couple things we just kind of ripped on a little bit, but I think there was some entertainment here. I thought it was a good
card. Yes,
yeah.
I think AEW is moving in the right direction. I still think they've got a lot to think about, especially, and again, I'm not trying to be funny or rip on anybody. These WWE guys have come in and taken over, and you have to ask yourself about the guys who've been going on the show for the past couple of years, man. If these guys can come in and immediately right to the top, you know, the Elite, and you said this, and when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, you're right, have really been the worst part of Dynamite, watching the Young Bucks and Omega and those guys come out and be clowns and goof around. I mean, you think Miro, he's really good right now. CM Punk, very interesting. Bryan Danielson, really interesting. Ruby Soho is piquing some interest coming in.
Yeah.
These are all freaking and people are talking about Sting. How good
Sting.
Like these guys were all supposed to be so great. These other guys are dwarfing them. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You need some of these guys.
Yeah.
We need the other guys to pick it up to their level.
You got to fill that card out.
Yep. We need to see more. I'm sorry, out of MJF. We need to see more out of Kenny Omega. And I'm not talking in the ring. Kenny Omega is freaking fine in the ring. He's great. That
match tonight, you know, and I have done it. Like, yeah, it's good, but it's not as good as everybody says. Match tonight was good, man. Mm-hmm. Outside of the time limit thing and telegraphing that it was going to be a time limit, I thought the match was good. So, it's his mic work and whatnot and being goofy. I don't want to hear anybody say, you know, Big E is too goofy. He's too goofy to be the champion. I'm like, well, look at this guy over here. He's goofy.
Right. He's goofy.
He can work his butt off, though. I mean, there's no doubt. But I thought it was a good show, man. Obviously.
Great. I did too.
I think they may have sold everybody a little bit of goods that they were going to get WrestleMania 3 or WrestleMania 17 today. But it's not like they gave them WrestleMania 9. You know, they gave them a very good show today, and I don't think anybody can go home disappointed. Even though there's just little things in there. There's little things that could make a decent thing good and a good thing great, and they're missing a lot of those little details. If they can figure those out, forget, you know, they're gonna be sweet. Dude, appreciate you being here, man.
Thanks for having me. Good show. I enjoyed tonight. It was a good night of wrestling.
Let everybody, again, let us know what you guys think, what you thought of the show, what you think of our breakdowns. Are we overly critical? Are we on? Did we think of something you didn't think of? If you thought of something we didn't, please let us know. Hit us up either on Twitter or on the comments here or whatever. Let us know. We appreciate it. And thanks again, and we will see you once again. Guess what? We got a pay-per-view coming up here Sunday night, Nick.
Extreme Rules, right?
Extreme Rules on the other channel. So we will be here with a review of that as well. So thanks, everybody, one more time. For Nick and Ryan, the Job Guys, thank you. We'll see you later.
Pleasure's all yours, Bucky boys.